Okay, guys. Section 143. Powers and duties of the auditors and auditing standards. Sir, what is this section? Pay attention. What is this section about? What are we going to talk about in this section when we talk about it? Let's understand. Let's understand. This section 143 says if you are the auditor of the company, what are the powers that you will have? What will be your duties? And how important is it to comply with the auditing standards for an auditor? Well, lot of things are written in this section. If I show you, it's a long section. Don't worry. We won't read. We won't only read the section. Reading you can do. I will show you on the screen also. Two things that are very important that I have to do for you. First, in this long section, how do we summarize it? How do we summarize this section? So for the purpose of summarizing the section, I will do some markings over here. Point number one. Point number two, after summarizing this particular section, that is after doing the markings in this particular section, I will explain the section, or rather no, I will first explain the section to you so that you can understand when I do the markings. Let's do it that way. Clear? Sir, powers and duties of the auditor. What does it mean? See, are you an auditor of the company? Yes, sir. Well, in that case, you must know that you have the power to access the books of accounts, records, vouchers, documents, papers, everything of every company. That are your clients, of course. Yes. Every company where you go for conducting audit, you have the power to verify the books of accounts, records, vouchers, documents, everything about the company for the purpose of conducting audit. Nobody can stop you. Understood? That is a power given to you by the law. Nobody can stop you. Point number one. Point number two. At the time of inspection, verification of the books of accounts, if you feel I want to one-on-one sit with the employees or officers or directors of the company, and I need to get some information from them. I need to get some explanation from them. As an auditor, you have the power to do that also. You have the power to do that also. Then they are saying, if you are a company who has given any kind of loans, any kind of advances, understood? So when you have given any kind of loans or advances, are we sure that the money is going to be received back? Yes. What is your insurance? Insurance as in, what is the guarantee that the money will be received back? Have you given secured loans or unsecured loans? If secured are there, what is the value of the loan and what is the value of security? All these things need to be verified by the auditor. Auditor's responsibility is to check everything. If at all the company has booked any purchases or booked any sales, auditor needs to verify that are they merely journal entries? If the company has said we have spent so much of amount for buying an asset, is it a journal entry or the asset really exists? Auditor's duty to do physical verification of the particular property of every such particular asset or expense that the company claims. Auditor can do anything that is required, including physical verification. Now, if the company says, sir, my asset is not located here, it is located at certain other place, auditor can demand from the company to make the arrangements for the auditor to visit such place. If the company says it is at my branch or it is at my subsidiary company, auditor can tell the company, make arrangements for me to visit the branch or the subsidiary also. The auditor of the company has the power to demand the accounts that belong to the subsidiary of that company. If at all the company has any branch, the auditor can visit such branches also for the purpose of completion of audit smoothly. He can demand information, explanation from subsidiaries also, branches also, associates also, and it is everyone's duty to cooperate and coordinate with the requirements of the auditor. If you don't, there are punishments, there are penalties. He has to make sure if the company has shown any sales, yes, then are the sales made below the cost price? Why are they made below the cost price? Is the intention to do something anti-competitive, to create a monopoly in the market? Yes. If that is the intention, auditor should specify in the report. If that, and as per the Competition Act 2002, if any sales are made at below the cost price, it is considered to be anti-competitive in the eyes of the law. Yes or no? So that should be disclosed. If at all any personal expenses are done by the directors, and those personal expenses are given a treatment in the accounting treatment in the books of accounts of the company. Personal expense shown as business expense, not allowed. That also auditor should disclose. That also auditor should disclose. If at all the company is saying that shares have been allotted by the company for so many members, auditor should check if shares are allotted, then money should be received for those shares. Is the money received in the bank account? Actual money has been received in the bank account or no? The shareholder, the auditor will verify. So these are all basic points that I'm telling you. Other than this, whether auditing standards, whether accounting standards, whatever are applicable to the company, whether all of them are thoroughly, properly, accurately complied or no, who will check? Auditor will check. Because auditor, a chartered accountant, is a person who studies the auditing standards and studies the accounting standards at professional level, and is aware about their applications, their implications. And that is why they are saying it is a duty of the auditor to specify in his audit report whether, after verifying the financials of the company, are they showing a true and fair view of the financial statements or not. If at all auditor finds something fishy around, auditor can qualify their report or give a negative remark or an adverse opinion on their report. Understood? And as we all know, it is the duty of the company to disclose all of it, whatever is written in the report of the auditor, to the shareholders in the general meeting. Yes or no? Books of accounts maintained, not maintained, accurately maintained, not maintained. Where are they maintained? Maintained by the company at the registered office, not maintained by the company at registered office, maintained somewhere else. Were you given the access to go there and inspect or no? Everything the auditor will check and verify and write in his report. Of course, we saw in the previous video also, he has the power, he has the right to attend the general meeting of the company as well. That is also a right which has been given to the auditor. Correct? It is also a duty that the auditor must ensure he should attend the AGM. Of course, he will speak only for matters relating to audit, but he must attend the AGM. Right? So like this, if I show you, so many points are given in this entire answer. Okay. If at all, I'll give you one more point, very interesting point. Fraud is detected by the auditor, what he should do. Especially if at all you are an auditor of a government company, or you are under a special audit, that they call it as a supplementary audit. If as an auditor you come across any event of fraud while doing a supplementary audit, what will you do? So the provision over here says, in that case, it's a serious matter. The auditor who comes across such event should write his report, and then whatever are the details of fraud, he should disclose them in his report, and then he should send them in a sealed envelope to the secretary of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, New Delhi, specifying what is the SIN of the company. SIN means corporate identity number. The SIN of the company, the identity, common seal if the company is there, the signature of the company, authorized person of the company. Yes or no? All the details will be specified. What is the nature of fraud, amount of fraud, public interest involved, not involved, everything. And it will be sealed in an envelope and sent over there. Understood? Nobody will have access to it before the MCA, that is the Secretary of MCA, takes action that is needed. If any other fraud is witnessed by the auditor, but it is nothing major, he will take an opinion of the management first, showing them what does he see, why does he feel it is a fraud. Whatever is the comments of the management and whatever is his opinion, it will be specified in the report, and then it has to be disclosed to the public also, copy submitted to the ROC also. Fraud is there detected, copy will go to MCA also. So lots of compliances are there in this section. One by one, what you have to do, read the section. All the points are general knowledge points. Whatever I said, I did not have to read everything and say. No, these are all general things. That if you are going to check, what will you check? Answer is everything. Everything means what? You disclose everything one by one, and say whatever you have to check over there. Very easy. Understood? So that's what you will do over there. Now, as what you have to do as a student, Don't copy the answer from the notes. No need. No need to mug up this answer. Write it on your own, in your own language, but make sure I am highlighting certain words in every point over here. Okay. When you revise, make sure these words form a part of your answer. What do you have to do? Make sure these words form a part of your answer. That much you should do. If that much also you will do, our job is done. Our job over here will be done. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, everything that I said, the same things I am going to mark over here. Okay. You can see certain points I have already marked. So those two you can directly take down. Other points which I have not marked, I will mark with you. So you can mark with me. Yes. And then we will finish this answer accordingly. In the meanwhile, if something new comes up, of course, I will explain that point also to you. Starting from the top, auditor will have the right to access the books of accounts, records, vouchers, demand or require information, explanation, everything that he may require. Highlight these points, these words precisely. Done? Then, amongst other matters that he is required to inquire, he will specifically check what? A, loans and advances by the company, are they properly secured? B, all the entries are not merely book entries. C, company, if it is not an investment company or a banking company, whether so much of the assets of the company consist of shares, debentures, and other securities have been sold at a price less than the purchase price of the company. He will disclose it. D, whether loans and advances are shown as deposits by the company. E, personal expenses are charged to the revenue account, that is the profit and loss account of the company, revenue account, P&L account of the company. Whether shares have been allotted for cash, and then whether that cash has been actually received by the company. So only if you read the highlighted portion, you will realize that, okay, I know the answer. Around that is only English, basic English, that you can write on your own also. Correct? Then, wait. No, nothing to hurry. First, you copy these notes if you have the book with you. Still, if you don't have the book with you, you are using any other material, fair enough. Otherwise, get in touch with me. I will have the book copy sent to wherever you are in India. I don't care. My office will courier the books to you. Don't worry about that. Within 24 hours, we will ensure that the courier is sent if the order is placed in a timely manner. Yes. Understood? Okay. Then, auditor of a holding company shall also have the right to access subsidiaries, associate companies. We already said you have the right to, right to access the books of accounts, records, vouchers, everything about subsidiary also, associate also, and branch also. Auditor shall make a report. What report? All the provisions of the act, the accounting standards, auditing standards, everything that are required to be included in the, all these things are complied or no, to be included in the auditor's report. Plus, financial statements are showing a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company or not, you have to disclose in your auditor's report. Correct? The auditor's report shall also state what? Whether the information and explanation that he sought to obtain, which are to the best of his knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of auditing. Has he obtained everything or no? Yes. Whether in his opinion, proper books of accounts have been maintained by the company or no. And further, we will mark together. Before that, you take these markings first. Excuse me. Done? Okay. Then next they are saying whether the report on accounts of branch office of the company under subsection 8, 143(8), branch office of the company by a person other than the company's auditor has been sent to him. Okay. So what is this point saying? This point says, if I am the auditor of the company and your branch is also located somewhere nearby or within India or outside India, you have two options as a company. Either you appoint me as the auditor of branch also, or you can have someone else to do the audit of the branch. If somebody else is doing the audit of the branch, as an auditor of the company, I have the right to demand the records, the audit report of that auditor. who has conducted the audit of that branch, whether in India or outside India, whoever it is. Okay, and I have to opine. I can take opinions, make my notes on the basis of that report with respect to the audit of a branch also, audit report of a branch also. So that report also I have to include with my report is what they are trying to say. Then whether the company's balance sheet, profit and loss account are dealt with in the dealt with the within the report are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. Meaning what? Whatever you have written in the report and whatever actually is there, whether everything is matching or no. Whether in his opinion, financial statements comply with the accounting standards or not. Whatever are your observations, your comments as an auditor. Okay, have you shown it to the board of directors? Yes or no? Have you taken their opinion, their comments on that? That is also required. Correct. Where any director is disqualified as per section 164, you should know section 164 talks about disqualification of director. See a final portion. They are saying disclose it in your audit report. If any director is disqualified, who is disqualified, when disqualified, why disqualified, give the details over there. Any qualifications are there, reservation is there, adverse remarks is there, you disclose in your audit report. Correct. Whether company has adequate internal financial controls or no, and if there are, then are they operating effectively or not? This also you should disclose along with such other matters as may be prescribed. How many points we did? Near about 10 points we did over here. 10 points. So should we by heart all the 10? No. Just read all the 10 points 10 times. 5 times. At least you can read. 4 times at least you can read. Yes. Once per day. Only 4 days. Only read these points. Automatically, these points will be by heart for you. You don't have to by heart all the 10 points. Point to point, word by word, line by line. No need. No need. These are all, if you understand, guys, if you understand, these are all general knowledge points. If I tell you, go and check that particular company, go and check that particular place, whether they are working properly or not, what will you check? Same things you will check, which I have written over here. Understood? So, general knowledge points are there, don't come under stress. 4 or 5 times once you read, automatically you will be able to by heart. Okay? Please make a note of these points. I hope you are not only reading for the sake of it, but also understanding it and marking it in your notes as well. Yes. Where any of the matters required to be included in the audit report under this section is answered, it is in the negative or with a qualification, shall state the reasons therefore. So what they are saying, if at all the auditor has specified in the audit report any qualified opinion or a negative opinion, he should also state the reasons why he has given a negative or a qualified opinion. So he has to give reasons and then the company will give their relevant answer for that. In case of government company, yes, or a company which is directly indirectly owned by government, they are saying CAG shall appoint the auditor. We already know that, don't we? Section 139, 7651. Remember, so 7 and 5 was for government company. And direct such auditor. Direct means give order to such auditor in the manner in which the books of accounts are required to be audited. So CAG will specify how books of accounts are required to be audited or what is required to be audited in the books of accounts of that company. And thereupon the auditor so appointed shall submit a copy of the audit report to the CAG. Understood? He has to submit what? A copy of the audit report to the CAG. And thereafter the CAG will take action based on the audit report made by the auditor. Correct? Okay. CAG CAG shall within 60 days from the date of receipt of audit report, he will have right to one, conduct a supplementary audit. I told you what is a supplementary audit. Supplementary audit means audit of a government company which is conducted by the auditor after the normal audit is over. On the basis of the audit report, which is normally created, normally made by the auditor, on the basis of that report, the CAG has the power to order for a supplementary audit, that is audit after the audit. Understood? Where specific items which the CAG requires will be verified by the auditor, and he will make a report and it will be submitted directly in a sealed envelope, as we said. Correct? First copy given to the CAG, because this is not about the fraud. Fraud report will directly go to Secretary of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Here report will directly go to CAG, because CAG is ordering for this type of an audit. Clear? Okay. This you can read and comment upon or supplement such audit report. Okay. Provided that any comments given by CAG, shall be sent to the company and to every person entitled to the copies of audited financial statements. Every person who is entitled to take the copies or demand the copies of the financial statements is entitled to receive a copy of the report of the CAG. Yes, everybody will be entitled. Without prejudice to the provisions in this chapter. So whatever is given in the provisions of this chapter, everything is okay, everything is valid, everything is applicable. Without prejudice to them, the C and AG may, in case of a company covered under the subsection 139, they are saying, if he considers necessary by an order, cause a test audit to be conducted, okay, of the accounts of the company, and the provisions of section 19A of the C and AG duties and powers and Act 1971 shall apply. Sir, should we remember? Absolutely not. Duties and provisions as may be prescribed shall apply to the test audit. Like that only you will remember. Okay. No need to remember the name of the law or anything over there. Talking about branch office and branch accounts in India as well as outside India, both the points I have explained to you. You can simply go through this. I will just highlight for you. Same point which I already explained to you is given over here. Yes, go through the point. See if you are able to understand all these points very clearly. I will also do some marking for you. Important. Not important. Very important. Very important. Super important provision over here. Every auditor shall comply with auditing standards compulsory. The central government may prescribe the standards for auditing. Yes. And recommend as recommended by the ICAI, that is our mother body is our institute, constituted under section 3 of the ICAI Act. No need to remember all this. Only this much is enough. After this, all this is not required. Done? Okay. This not required. Basic point, common sense points. You can just read them once and then ignore them. Then central government may, in consultation with the NFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority, pass a general or a special order with respect to such class or classes of companies as may be specified in the order, that the auditor's report shall also include a statement on such matters as specified in the order. So general point it is, NFRA is about auditing standards, accounting standards basically. So if required, CG can pass an order with respect to certain companies for the auditors, that when you do audit of these companies, specify some extra points as CG may specify. Nothing is given over here. Correct? NFRA, this is only general knowledge purpose. Okay, so only for GK purpose it is. You can just read it for knowledge, or I will write it over here. Just read. Not important. Okay. Notwithstanding anything contained in the section, if the auditor of the company in the course of his performance of the duties has reasons to believe that offense of fraud has been committed, 143.12, fraud has been committed, involving an amount which as prescribed is being or has been already committed by the company or the officers of the company, auditor shall report the same to the CG, that is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, within such time and manner as prescribed, provided that where the fraud involving lesser than the specified amount is there, the auditor's report shall specify the matter in front of the audit committee, which is made, or to the board of directors if audit committee is not available. Provided further that whose auditors have reported the frauds under the subsection to the audit committee or the board of directors, but not reported the same to the central government, shall disclose the details about such frauds in the board's report. So what they are saying over here, if I am an auditor and I come across a fraud where the amount of the fraud is more than the given limit by CG, it is more, inform CG first. It is less, no need to inform CG. Inform the audit committee if the company is having an audit committee. If they are not having audit committee, then board of directors to definitely will be there. Inform the board of directors. What board of directors will do? Because it is a small amount of fraud, board of directors will give their reply, but the reporting done by auditor, reply given by board of directors, everything will be specified in the board of directors report. Correct? No duty to which an auditor of a company may subject to shall be regarded as being contravened by reason of his reporting in the matter referred to under section 12 if it is done in good faith. If at all auditor does not report any fraud and later on you come to know that there happened a fraud, you cannot blame the auditor if auditor can prove that auditor has done his duties in good faith. In good faith, in a bona fide manner, he did everything, he employed his full skills and diligence. Now if the fraud is done by a person, naturally it is going to be planned. And if it is planned and hidden and done in a very smart manner, may not be possible sometimes for an auditor to catch it. Understood? So basically they are protecting the auditor, that you cannot put a blame on the auditor for not catching up any fraud. Provisions of this section shall mutatis mutandis, meaning as it is, they should apply to the cost accountants who are doing cost audit, the company secretaries who are doing secretarial audit. If any auditor or cost accountant or the company secretary practice does not comply with the provisions, there are penalties as given with respect to listed company and any other company. Yes? Lot many things we saw in this section. Yes. Do not remember each and everything. I'm still telling you, don't get under stress. Important provisions are there. Whatever I have highlighted, only that you remember. Now, example, something like supplementary audit, branch audit, fraud reporting, right? 143.8, 143.12, 143.7, all these provisions that we saw, not 7, not 7, not 7, not 7, 6. All these provisions that we saw, these can come as separate short notes also for you. Possible? Yes, very much possible. Understood? So this is not one answer. From your exam perspective, these can be multiple answers. Separate short notes can be asked from over here itself, from this single section itself. So be prepared. Make sure you don't mug up, but just keep your concepts clear. Very easy provision is, once you read it 2, 3, 4 times, you will yourself feel, sir, it's very easy. If you don't feel like that, get in touch with me. I will explain it to you again. As and when possible, I'll explain it to you again. Understood? Unnecessarily don't message us, sir, please explain the whole section. As you saw, it's a big section. Yes, it will take good enough of time, which you should also have and I should also have. But if there is any specific doubt, sir, branch audit provision or supplementary audit provision or any reporting parts of this particular point I didn't understand, send me a WhatsApp or a message on Instagram or Facebook, anywhere. Section number, subsection number, sir, this much portion I didn't understand only. I'll get back to you for that. No problem. Don't worry. Don't worry. Stress-free, stay stress-free and read these provisions. Understood? Clear? Understood, everybody? Yes. Quite a big section we covered over here, right? Yes. This provision can definitely come as MCQ also. And mark it as important. Yes. I hope this is clear. Sure. Lovely then. Should I stop over here? Yes. All right, guys. Let's go on to the new section in the new video. Thank you very much.